everyone, and welcome to Random Number Generation. I'm Skybilz, your host, and this is episode 70, The Legend of Zelda, The Wind Waker Rando with Nintendo. Couple announcements here on behalf of GDQ. GDQ 2023 Online will be January 8th through the 15th. The games list for the first submission period is out. The second submission period for games released after September 1st is November 6th through the 12th. Visit GamesDoneQuick.com for more info. This weekend, we have the GDQ Hotfix. No, I didn't read that wrong. It's called the Hotfix on Saturday, a marathon of speedruns featuring boxes. We also have the Pokemon 3rd Gen 20th Anniversary Special on Sunday. Each of those start at 1 p.m. Eastern on both days. And with that being said, Jesse, how are you doing?
I'm doing well, Sky. How's it going?
Good. Very excited to see some Wind Waker Randomizer. This will actually be one of the first times we have Wind Waker Randomizer. And from what I can understand, there's been a lot of developments and updates to that even since it's come out.
Yes, there have been. And people keep suggesting stuff in the Discord and it keeps getting updated, so it's exciting.
Absolutely. Well, we have a lot to cover. Wind Waker, as we were talking in the pre-show, is an enormous game, so we're going to get started right away, but don't worry, there's plenty of time. As always, I'm going to try to keep an eye on the chat, too. If you have any questions for Desi or about the randomizer, we will do our best to answer that. Desi, are you ready to go?
I'm ready when you are. All
right, on your count.
Okay, 3, 2, 1, let's go.
Good luck and have fun. Very much looking forward to this. So, Desi, right away upon boot up, what do you want to see out of this randomizer?
Well, I want to see early Deku Leaf and Magic because you can use that everywhere to speed up the game, which is nice.
Wait, that's not Link. Is that Ash Ketchum?
That is. You were just talking about Pokemon earlier. Well, here, we're playing as Red from Pokemon. And as you can see, the Wind Waker also is a Poke-Flute. So a lot of our items are going to look different. That was one of the many character choices available for us. So I figured, Pokemon is perfect. I know we all love Pokemon here. So.
Oh, absolutely. I've seen a couple of really funny ones. I think Goku was one of the skins you could choose for Link.
You could also play as Link's grandmother, and she makes the most hilarious noises like, oh, when she jumps. I love playing as her. Oh my gosh.
I think my favorite one that I've seen so far, you can play as Tetra in this one, which is a ton of fun.
Yes, that's really fun too. There's so many great character model options.
So I'm noticing you're doing a lot of checks in Outset right away. In Windfall Village. It's been a while since I played this. But you're doing a lot of checks here in Windfall Village. Is this because you don't have a lot of items to start and there's a lot of checks here that don't require items?
Exactly. There are a lot of Sphere Zero checks or checks that basically are free, like this one. Wow, that's 2 Tingle statues. Okay. Interesting. So the Tingle statues, you need 5 of them to get an actual item out of them. But getting 2 early ones is pointing me in the direction of we're going to need them. It's a troll if you get all 5 and then go to Tingle to find the item, and it's not good. But seeing them early means it will likely not be a waste to go. I'll mark off those 2.
Here comes Tingle.
Yes, speaking of Tingle, here he is. Tingle's actually very important to free from his jail cell because he gives you 2 free items, and then you can't get the item in his island unless you freed him. So it's very important to do this early.
I noticed you got Din's Pearl there. What does that do for you exactly?
Good question. So when you get 3 of the pearls, it opens up the dungeon in Tower of the Gods. So that'll be the dungeon entrance to Tower of the Gods. We don't know if it'll actually be Tower of the Gods inside. We randomized the dungeon entrances for this seed. So we could enter there and end up finding Dragon Roost Cavern, for example.
So speaking of flags, Desi, what else is randomized? And I know most of the answer is going to be yes, but out of curiosity, what are some of the key flags that are on here?
So things that are like for fun, our enemy palettes are randomized. A few other little things, but like the most important one is how you decide the logic. So that is really good to get early. I love getting that because we need to give that to Granny. Not the bottle itself, but a fairy in a bottle. And then she can give us an item. So one of the things I randomized... Oh, wow, this is a pretty good start. So one of the things that I did was mail sorting. Or not mail sorting, but just items that you get in the mail. Like, for example, in vanilla, when you get the bomb bag, you get a letter from Beetle saying, we have bombs for sale. And so at the end of that message from Beetle, I don't remember what he gives you in vanilla, but here it'll be a randomized item along with that that letter that he gives us. So I think we're still at 3. We might have gotten a 4th one. We got a bow and no, I think we're at 3. Okay. So
that
we're gonna use.
I was gonna say that bow is pretty big, Dusty. I mean, there's so many checks in this game, so that was fortunate. Go ahead.
Yeah, and this opens up this check early, which is nice to get this out of the way. Basically, what I want to do in my routing for these seeds is to get as many overworld checks done as possible before heading into dungeons, and hopefully we can get a lot of them done now. The hitbox for this is always very wonky. There we go. Okay, so let's see what we get here. So as you can imagine, routing is very important for a fast seed.
Fast seeds, Dusty, what is your best time? Now, again, you can't exactly like speedrun or PB on our randomizer, so to say, but what is your best time so far?
My best one with this flag set is about 2 hours and 20 minutes. So we'll see how close we get to that.
That is really fast for Wind Waker randomizer, Dusty. Wow.
Yeah. Yeah. It was pretty crazy, that run. And I just had the best routing for that one. So we'll see what we get here. The routing is totally dependent on what items we get when. So getting that check now meant that we don't have to leave a dungeon to check on what Cyclos had for us. It was just 5 rupees, but we do need 20 rupees to get an item. So it adds up. A randomized item, rather. So yeah. Ideally, we would have wanted something more than 5 rupees. Like 50 would have gotten us to the item. We'll see.
So we had talked about this in the tweet a little bit. I had put a tweet out talking about Triforce pieces, and we've talked about this in the pre-show. But for folks who may not be familiar, what do we do about all those Triforce pieces in Triforce charts?
Good question. So let me write this in down. Okay, so we don't need that. I'll write that down. As I talk to the fair, I'll write that down. So the Triforces, good question. You need 8 Triforce shards to get into Hyrule in both vanilla and the rando. But the way that the rando deals with it is that they give you the option to randomize the Triforce charts and keep them out of logic. So we're not going to be fishing for any treasure charts, Triforce charts. If we get them, they're basically trash. So hopefully we won't get any. And speaking of trash, there we go. Because I've put a lot of things out of logic, oh, watch this bottle. Look at the polka doll. I love that. And our bow is a Porygon. You don't see it that well when I'm using the bow, but when I walk around holding the bow, you definitely see it. So, yeah, we're going to need all 8 Triforce shards to beat the game. And the way that we've done this is I'm going to note which dungeons are required here. We are not doing Tower of the Gods or Forbidden Woods because those don't have those blue like markers on the map around those islands. So we're not doing Forbidden Woods. There was one other one. Tower of the Gods. Okay. So Tower of the Gods is the one that's the easiest to get to. It's a very short, like, Like you just play the song and it'll teleport you to Tower of the Gods entrance. So that's unfortunate that that one's not in the logic. But we do have Forbidden Woods not in logic. And that's the dungeon that takes the most time to reach. So I'm really happy about that not being in logic. And one more thing about the Triforce shards is with the mode that I'm playing, we don't need, 4 of the Triforce shards can be randomized anywhere, but the other 4 are going to be prizes from dungeons. So you get them on the boss of the dungeon. So likely the Triforce completion will be go mode for us, but we'll see what it is. Sometimes you can get an item in Hyrule that's required. So I got the 25 rupees. So now we're gonna go back to Dragon Roost after I check on this one item here, and we'll see if that has an item in the shop for us. Because when you first spawn into Dragon Roost, the boat is right next to you, but we didn't have the money for it. So we're gonna make a return trip there for that.
Seems like a really good seed so far, Dusty. It looks like a lot of nice pieces are lining up. Of course, as randomizer players, we always know when we get what I call the 3 gifts at the beginning. It usually means something's going to end up kind of odd mid to late seed.
So we just got a really good hint. Tingle has our first magic up. Could be our second magic upgrade, but Tingle has a magic upgrade for us. So we're gonna want to go and get those last Tingle statues as quickly as possible so we can get magic. We're going back here. And yeah, the routing so far has been pretty good. So let's go into that shop and see what's there. Beetle is such a funny character. Oh, come on. There we go. And yes, the red model has no sound effects. So perfect. Speaking of Tingle statues, we got, I believe, our 4th one.
I don't know why, but I'm not as familiar with the Tingle statues for some reason. What do those do again?
So in vanilla, when you get all 5 Tingle statues, you speak to someone in Tingle's Island, and he'll give you the rainbow rupee. It's the rarest rupee in the game. It is 500 rupees, and it has a beautiful color to it. But here we've made it so that that's a randomized item. Oh, I like getting that item very early. That's good. That's really good. Okay. We got a power bracelet. And I'm gonna get some hints on the seed right now and write them down. So, Magic Southern Fairy, okay. Okay, this is really good. Yeah, we just got that. We don't need that. Green Jewel, I guess that's good to know. Defensive item in, okay. Okay, we got that one. Bombs. So we're about to get bombs. Earth God's Lyric. And I think it's at a storage item. I missed the last one, but if that's it, we already have that, so we don't really care about that item. So we're gonna head over and get bombs right away from the hint. So this is exciting. We have some really good hints here to help us go. The power bracelet gives us access to the bomb. So this item we're going to now on this island, I see this often. You've probably seen this before in randos that you've done. If there's an item that, or a check that can be gotten by either of two items, one of those two items is blocking the other one. So here, to get to this fairy fountain, you can use bombs to blow up that rock, or you can just pick it up with the power bracelet, and our bombs are inside. So this is really useful to get this out of the way now. And I need to mark off that we got our 4th single statue. And now what are, oh yes, the bombs. Do I use glitches? Very few of them. You'll see more of an accessible playthrough here, something that anyone can do without learning the glitches. But the ones that I do are pretty simple. So I don't think we'll be doing them in this run, but we'll see. Just based on the items that we have now, what I'm thinking about. Oh. There we go. The boat spawn position is fixed for each island, and it's always different on each fairy island. So we're gonna head over to get one free item in the sea for us. Oh, I love the fairies in this Zelda. Oh my gosh, I love the aesthetic so much. All of them. It's such a gorgeous game.
I wanted to ask Desi, how familiar should one be with vanilla Wind Waker before playing Wind Waker Randomizer? I've always loved to ask this question because I want folks to be prepared if they would like to experience this.
That's a great question. So someone the other day in my stream said that they remember the day that I beat vanilla. I was like, okay, we're gonna play rando next stream, and we did it, and it was very straightforward. The reason why is because based on the checks that you put in logic, you'll get a nice little, kind of like a worksheet of all of the possible checks in logic. It's called a non-spoiler log. So with that non-spoiler log, you can see, okay, with all of these flags that I've enabled in this seed, such and such places have possible progress items. And then you don't have to look at all of the other things that you've turned off in logic. So it's pretty beginner friendly. And the checks kind of make sense. So like there's one here, I'm looking at I keep the non-spoiler log in front of me as like a checklist of what to do. Oh, here our mailbox is shaking because I got bombs, and I mentioned the advertisement from Beetle. So we're gonna get a random item now. But basically it says outside island, under Link's house is one. That's really nice to see. Okay. That's one of the two items I said I wanted to see earlier. We'll mark that off. And it says like under Link's house or Mesa the grass cutter's house. That one, I guess you have to know a little more. There we go. We just got magic next to next to the Deku Leaf. So we just need to go to Tingle's Island and redeem it. But yeah. And I did the routing so that I could be here at night, because that one check under Mesa the grass cutter's house, you can only enter at night. Now we have the item to like change time from day to night, and night to day, but basically it costs time to cast, I'm thinking of Zelda, to Zelda 2 with casting magic. It costs time to use the spell, again, I'm thinking of Zelda 2. I speedrun Zelda 2, by the way. But yeah, it costs time to like actually play the song. So I try to route other checks and just naturally make it nighttime when I come here, so that I save some time like that. So giving her the fairy makes her not sick anymore, which is nice. We like to, you know, cure Granny from her ailments. But also, she gives you soup, which is useful because when you drink soup, you do twice as much damage on enemies. But then more importantly, she'll send us a letter in the mail. And with the letter, she sends us all of her savings. And I think in vanilla, it's a blue rupee, which is so sweet. But in this one, it could be a hammer, for example. So we'll find that a hammer would be really nice right about now. Or a sword, because we don't have a sword. We don't have anything to attack enemies besides the bombs and the bow. Come on. There we go. Okay, so this is useful. Okay, so that's not as useful. So we're gonna save warp out of here because it's faster. We're also gonna find out what items she has for us. So the pearl would be useful if Tower of the Gods were in logic. But looking at our map and the marker that we set, there's no dungeon that's required over there. So we don't need to go there. So we're going to check on this southern ferry. So we've done southern, eastern, and well, we're doing southern, and we've done eastern and northern ferries. There are 3 more ferries out there. The one on Outset, which requires the Deku Leaf and magic, but it also requires an item to destroy, to like cut down trees. And we don't have that. Bombs will not, oh, look at those bombs. I love that. So, how do you send soup in an envelope? Good question. So she gives us the soup directly, but then she mails us a randomized item. Very carefully. That too. Plastic envelope. Good answers from chat. Oh.
I don't know how good the soup would taste if it was sent in a plastic envelope.
It might not be edible, but it can be sent.
I think that's called... Oh.
That's really nice. Mm-hmm. So we're about to get another magic upgrade from Tingle, our second one. So that's pretty useful. Just not needing to rely on magic drops from grass as much is really nice, because when you cut grass, that has magic. First of all, if the grass will drop magic is RNG, but then when it does, it's basically, I don't know if it's a coin flip exactly or what the what exactly determines it, but you'll either get a small magic or a big magic canter. So I'm really glad we got that, so we have to worry a lot less about magic this entire seed. And what is this? Granule? No, this isn't granule. What is this one? Oh, it is granny already. Okay, nice. Our first sword. So now we can cut trees. We can actually go back to Outset and get that fairy, which is unusual this early on in the seed. So here's the Tingle item. So first you'll get 50 rupees for every statue that you've gotten. And then you get magic. There we go. It is dangerous to go alone. I love Zelda 1. The determination.
It's dangerous to go alone. That's another show on here, y'all.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, that's the show about co-op speedruns.
Oh, that makes sense. I have to watch that. That sounds super fun. I love co-op stuff. Playing and watching.
Yeah, you were doing some co-op stuff I saw earlier this week with a friend, Desi.
I was with my friend Blue Ribbon High Life. We had a gay old time. It was wonderful.
I wouldn't mail soup to your friends, y'all. They call that dubious food in Breath of the Wild for a reason, y'all.
He's right.
Oh, no. Do not send soup in the mail, please. Oh, goodness. So is this pretty common to be at outset at this point in the seed? Desi, do you come here pretty early? Oh my gosh, that's a no, that's a Charizard.
It's a Charizard, yeah. Actually, I delay outset as much as possible, and not because I want to, but because I don't have the items lined up for me to come here. But we're doing our last check on outset, which is really nice. Normally, this is like an outlier thing that I have to come to later. And the less overworld stuff we have later on, the less back and forth from dungeons to overworld. So this is really nice to see.
I really love the Charizard, Dusty. I can't get
know,
over
it's
it.
so
It's
good.
so cute.
We'll be seeing more of that Charizard. I love it too. So we got double magic and now and a sword. But I don't know what else we're getting here.
It seems like folks who have put all the work into the artwork and some of the reimagining of Link's sprite has really done a great job with it. I've been really impressed with everything I've seen.
Yeah, they really have. And their Discord, if anyone wants to make a character model, there are so many characters. I think like over 30, maybe even over 40 character models. They have tutorials there. I think that it's very difficult and complex, but they assure everyone that, you know, you can learn it. It's not that bad. So go check out their resources if that's something you're interested in. They're always looking for people who are more interested in the rando. It's a lot of fun. So now, since we have bombs, we can do this in logic. You can do this without having bombs, but having bombs early especially is telling me, come here. Let's see if it does have something. There's a randomized item here, and you can let the other ships, the other gunboats, destroy this one, but it takes longer than using your own bombs if you have them. So, let's see. 50 yeah, that sounds about right. It's incredible what they've done. And counting. And yeah, Big Sharks. Yeah, absolutely. Huge shout out to Big Sharks, who's worked on a lot of these character models. So this was required. The way I can tell is by the shape of the chest. That chest has spikes around it. That means it's a good item. If it's a wooden chest, it's trash. So we don't have to waste the time with the animation opening up the chests that are trash. So we got the one absolutely required song out of all the songs in the seed. So that's really nice to see. And I'm considering going to, I think we should find out, we need to know what dungeons we're actually doing besides Forsaken Fortress on the inside, if we have items to actually do them. So we're gonna now actually head inside of Dragon Roost and see what dungeon is that. And then the other dungeon that we can access early already, which is nice, is the Earth Temple, because all you need for that is Power Bracelet.
Dusty, how long have you been playing Wind Waker Randomizer? I feel like it's been a while for you.
Probably about a year and a half. And we do usually we do some really crazy flags, like I'll do a max rando with just everything in logic turned on, and those take a while, like around 7 or 8 hours. And then sometimes we're gonna do one of these coming soon in my stream. We reached an incentive during my charity event. I do an annual charity event, and we reached an incentive to do what I call emote only mode, where everyone, here we go. Oh, okay, these electrodes are just too big. There we go. Okay, so we do an emote only seed, where I'll post a spoiler log to a seed that has everything in logic turned on. in my Discord. Oh, this is good to come to with bombs. I'm really and Deku Leaf. This is nice. So I'll post the spoiler log in my Discord about a few hours before the stream, and then we do one long stream where chat is in emote only mode, and I even tell my mods and VIPs not to talk without just emote only. And this is a key chest. If we see chests like that, they'll have keys. And yeah, I think it's 304 checks for max rando. But yeah, it's a lot of fun to have people post things in chat, just emotes, and I don't go anywhere. I don't make any decisions on where to go. I use the emotes to guide me, and I see, does this tell me Tingle? Does this tell me Tower? I don't know is this a tower emote? Do I go to Tower of the Gods? Is this, what kind of, and sometimes people are putting emotes in because of the names, and I'm not always hovering my mouse over the names. Now I learned I need to do that a lot more for the emote only seeds, but it's so much fun. So there we go. Come on. That's fine. We're waiting out a timer here anyway for the water, which is going to bring us up here. And because we have the leaf, we don't have to wait that out. There's our Charizard.
Aww.
Yeah. And that's how we save a little bit of time with the leaf. Making sure I marked off all the items. I think I did. So in this first floor of Tower of the Gods, the water is on a cycle, and we try to meet these cycles as quickly as possible. Like as soon as I entered and saw Dragon Roost, or not Tower of the Gods in Dragon Roost, I quickly went, because if you're not fast, you won't go into that first door and you lose a cycle, and that's like 20 seconds or so. So we made that cycle, which is nice. Okay. Should be able to meet the cycle. There we go. Perfect. So about a year and a half ago, I beat Wind Waker on stream, and the very next day, I started doing randos. We're gonna save warp. It's a little faster. So the 3 jewels give us access to vanilla Tower of the Gods entrance, but we saw that it wasn't required. So we don't need them. But of the 3 jewels, the green one is the best one, because you get a randomized item in the mail for having the green jewel. Komali's father gives that to you in vanilla once you get the green jewel. So of the 3, that's the best one. And then how I learned, just slowly playing and figuring out, sometimes picking up strats from other people. Usually the strats are just things I learned by playing and getting there. And just practicing seats. And it really went a long way. But when you watch other people, you pick up like, oh, that's tech that I can use. Okay. So I've done that a little bit too. We don't have the key to get in that door yet. There is a way to skip this lock, but it doesn't save much time. So I'm gonna actually do it legit. So there's a small key. Oops. We got Town of the Gods big key, and there's a randomized item. It's hard to aim when I'm not using the vanilla bow, but it's so worth it for the Pokemon. Perfect. So now we have a shield and a sword. Really nice to get those early. If we need the mirror shield to beat the game, because you need to be able to reflect the light arrows into Ganon. But if Earth Temple is in the seed, then we do need to get that mirror shield earlier than by the last check, pretty much. And the shields are progressive, so we already got one of them. It's really nice. And we wait out this cycle. So while we wait it out, I'll share this sword here. It's not the vanilla sword. It is a Pokemon sword. You can't really see it too well, but we'll see it later on. Especially when we get the Master Sword, the sword will change. So, yeah, so there is a logic that is on. And I have certain things turned on in logic and certain things that we know are not going to give us items. For example, the Triforce charts, the regular treasure charts, all of those have trash. So we don't want to see those items. Perfect. Oh, come on. There we go. So this, if you have headphones on, you might want to turn them off because the BMOS has a really sharp noise to it. Okay. We'll just park that one over there. Okay, so this BMOS is being a problem. Let's get rid of it. Was I not targeting it? I guess I wasn't. BMOS are really annoying, especially with these rats in the way. There we go. Okay. That was unfortunate. The rad model is, if you download the randomizer, it won't come in the randomizer immediately, but there are instructions on the rando page in the GitHub for how to import the models into your game, and it's very easy. And I mean it when I say if I can figure something out, anyone can when it comes to technology. There we go. So what are we getting here? This is one of the tingle chests, which I turned on in logic. If you had a tingle tuner, it would show you that there's a chest here. But if you play this and you get and you turn those on in logic, you'll see it when you get the compass, where all the tingle chests are.
Oh my gosh, just every time I think this can't be cuter, this gets cuter. I can't get over the Charizard. I can't get over the Electrodes. And I get confused every time I see you're here because I'm like, this is Tower of the Gods. Oh, right, the dungeon entrances are shuffled, which just makes this all the more intense.
Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, you can see the Porygon is our bow.
This is so cute. So instead of getting items, you're catching Pokemon. Now, do you get more than 6 Pokemon? I have to know this.
We do, but sometimes they go in our box in the menu, right? So
true. That's true.
Oh, that was not a good hit. There we go. So if this is a wooden chest, we're just gonna leave it. Let's see. Here, it's a wooden chest. Restock on arrows and bombs. We're good. There he is, our Charizard. So normally Link says come on, but since it's red, he doesn't say anything. He just kind of signals. And yeah, what I tell people who want to learn a randomizer, just play a seed. See how it goes. Play with certain options. If you feel like the seed was too difficult, then you can always change. You don't have to finish the seed if it's too long or too difficult. You can go and change the options and make it a little easier. That's something I tell people for most randomizers I play, whether it's the Zelda 2 rando or Z1M1, which is Zelda 1 Metroid 1 crossover. What else? SMB2 rando. I play quite a few randos. And yeah, it's very easy to just go change the settings and adjust them. See, is it too easy now? Should I make it a little more tough? Should I make it a little more difficult? And this is one where it's very user-friendly for seeing, like, it's just one main page on randomizing items. Everything else is like aesthetics. So it's very nice. So to do this dungeon, we need the command melody, and we're pretty lucky to get it early before we come in here. Okay, so that was trash, but you needed to do that check in order to get this cutscene to open the door. So technically not trash in that sense, but the item wasn't helpful. Okay.
So what is the most ridiculous thing that's ever happened to you, Desi, during a Wind Waker rando? This could be an item in a really funky place or a funky series of items. What has been like the most wild thing you've seen happen in this rando?
That's a really good question. Whenever things are in vanilla places, ooh, okay, did this in a little wrong order. Whenever things are in their vanilla places, it's not just funky, but it also makes things you never expect vanilla when you play this. So usually something like light arrows being vanilla is pretty rough. And I've had, okay, so now I have a good answer for this one. I had a seed where the way that the light arrows work is if you have light arrows, when you go to Hyrule, then you don't have to fight Phantom Ganon like something like 8 or 9 times before you get the check in the light arrows chest. So the worst place for the light arrows is in that vanilla spot. But one time I didn't just have light arrows there, I had ice and fire arrows there, which the bows are progressive. So after your first bow, you get fire and ice arrows, and then come on. Dark Nuts are pain. There we go. So I had a seed that had me go all the way to the last check in Ganon's tower for ice and fire arrows. Then I had to leave Ganon's tower and find light arrows outside. And those light arrows outside required the fire and ice arrows. So that's, and then I obviously had to go back into Hyrule, deep into Hyrule, to get the next, to just, you know, beat the game to kill Ganon.
Wow, how long did that seed take you? Do you remember?
That was a long one. I don't remember how long, but that was definitely a long one. It was probably around 6 hours,
wow.
If I were to guess. Yeah.
That's now. What settings were you using, if you remember?
Very different settings. I put at least twice as many checks as this one. So right now we're playing with a little over 100 checks in Logic. I was playing with over 200, around 230 checks in Logic in that seed. So it makes sense that it would be a lot longer. But yeah. First bow and light arrow maze. That would be something. I guess Cyclos could have fire and ice arrows. So right now, I would really love to see a hammer. So that right there, using the leaf instead of the grappling hook, is in Logic. It could be the case that our grappling hook is later on in this dungeon. It could be that the grappling hook is available out there without needing to do this, but that's just one of the tricks that I learned from a seed where I couldn't progress anywhere because I didn't know where to go, so I just checked the spoiler log, and there it was. I needed to find the grappling hook in here. So we also got the ghost ship chart, so I want to mark that.
I want to remind folks, especially as they're learning randomizers, and especially if you don't have as much familiarity with the vanilla game, especially in that case, there is no shame in generating spoiler logs. If you're still trying to learn everything, there's absolutely nothing wrong with it. You can play these randomizers to the effect of you feel comfortable where you are, and if you get stuck, it's okay to consult that. You know, if you were just playing by yourself, you know, of course I wouldn't advise doing it if you were doing something a little more competitive, but if you're learning something, there is no shame in generating a spoiler log. Absolutely.
The spoiler log is there to help you learn how the game works. So use it for that 100%. Anytime this bat wants to come down here, perfect. Okay. Oops. Timing it on the electrodes is tough. I'm used to the blinking on the regular bombs, so I'm glad I got that one. If I use this model exclusively, I'd definitely get used to it. But I like, with my stream, I like to change it up, and every stream I'll do a different character model until we go through pretty much all of them. That is really good. Okay. So we can now reach Western and Eastern Fairy Islands, and also, more importantly, we can get into Forsaken Fortress with that. So I'm very happy to see that. Okay. There we go. No. Okay. I love the I use the grandma a lot more than most of the other models because I absolutely love that one. That is such a good one. Okay. I was worried he was going to not make that cycle. So that's our first Triforce shard. That's really good to see. Perfect. By having that, we don't really need more money, but what we do want is the item that you get in the mail for having a bigger wallet. So Beetle out there senses we have a bigger wallet and that we can afford more expensive purchases. So he sends us a letter in the mail with an advertisement saying that there's an expensive beetle shop ship with such and such items. I think we're good at that. Oh gosh, okay. I don't know what I was thinking there. I was used to getting the one on the other side and then getting that one. That was just muscle memory. Here we go. For the way back, we need 3 of these. There we go. Come on, Red. We're counting on you here. So for this next room I'm about to do, you might want to turn down your headphones if you have headphones on. It's kind of loud. It's a sharp noise here.
Jesse, thank you so much for the content warning there, just in case. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, absolutely. I always let folks know if there's bright lights or loud noises. Absolutely, if I know about it. I try my best to give the content warning there. We're almost out of this room. Okay, so now the volume is good to go. Much better now.
Well, while you're working your way through here, Desi, so you've been talking about your own stream a little bit. What have you been working on, or what have you been playing?
Yeah, that's a good question. So last month we did something really crazy. If you've heard of the U-Force, it's a really obscure NES peripheral, kind of like the Power Glove, and there's a funny story associated with it. My friend Cascade, and I think you know Cascade, he was playing Super Mario World with the U-Force, and he beat all 96 that was unfortunate. He beat all 96 exits using the U-Force, and when he was doing that, someone in his stream joked with me, Desi, when are you going to be playing Zelda 2 with the U-Force? And I joked back and I said, well, if I had a U-Force, I would do it. Guess what appeared in my P.O. box? A brand new U-Force. It's this crazy controller, kind of like the Power Glove in technology, that uses IR sensors to detect motion with your hands. And so it translates that motion with your hands into inputs on the controller for the NES. And this came out back in like in the 80s, basically. And so what I did was I beat Zelda 2 like that with a U-Force. And on top of that, I didn't read the manual on how to use it. I tried my best to figure out how to use the U-Force, and I managed to do it. So first we spent half an hour on the title select screen, or the input name for your file names in Zelda 2. And also I wanted the file names to have significant names, so I put in some names there. And just that took half an hour to figure out how to use it. And then I thought, okay, that was my training. I was good to go. So this chest is trash, but I need to open the chest to, that's funny that we got both the map and compass. I need to open it to activate these. And it'll basically allow us to open the bars on the door over here. So I beat it, and then while I was doing that, a friend of the stream, one of our longtime viewers, said that they wanted to. What was my stipulation? Okay, now I remember. Was that I would beat SMB2 on the U-Force. That was one of our incentives for our charity event. The way that we did. That we do this like max rando emote only mode. Oh, I was aiming for this thing. Okay. I made it for my charity event back in August that we would do a U-Force stream of SMB2. And I didn't quite think that one thoroughly through because SMB2 was so much more difficult than Zelda 2 and the U-Force. Even though the game is much easier vanilla, you just, there are so many pits everywhere in SMB2. Zelda 2 doesn't have any of, it has some pits, but nowhere near as many. And holding run the entire time when you had to jump also really complicated things. We almost got the cycle there. This is the most annoying boss in the game.
It always feels like Nintendo loves the bosses with the hands as the targets. There's so many different video games. You know, Mario 64 comes to mind, Mario Odyssey. I mean, Bongo Bongo, Starbox. Yeah, like it's everywhere.
What I think, this is a hypothesis, I don't actually know, but we know a little bit more about ROM hacking now. And I think what happened was the ASM for hands was something that was passed around, because a lot of these do similar things too. It's not just the fact that they're hands, the way that they like try to push you off like this, right? Oh, this is an unfortunate. We're gonna have to, we're gonna get 10 more arrows here. So I think that's why we see so many of them. But I don't know. Maybe we'll see a summoning salt video on that or something one day.
I still like how you're using electrode here.
Yes.
To destroy this boss.
There we go. Okay, so we're gonna get a Triforce shard for killing this, but do we get? No. Okay, this one is just a Triforce shard. When we kill the Helmarok King, we'll not only get the Triforce shard, but we'll also get someone to send us mail for killing the Helmarok King. And the same is true for Kale Demos, but we don't know if we have to do Forbidden Woods. The boss of the Forbidden Woods is Kale Demos. If Forbidden Woods is in Logic, we'll get another item in the mail for killing that one. And make sure you get the item here if it's a good item before you step in the middle. Oh, I've had that happen before and it's unfortunate. It's a big time loss. So we have some mail to check and we have a letter to mail out. One of the letters is going to be from Tingle, but we need to pay 200 rupees for it. It's not a required, 201 rupees. It's not a required item, but it does save time from having you have to say, no, I don't want the item every time. So that's trash, unfortunately. That was from the Green Jewel. And here we're getting one for the wallet upgrade. So here's our big chance to get trash for a lot of money over at Beetle Shop. And we got the fill-up coupon. That's kind of cute. So the fill-up coupon in vanilla, you get for getting enough points. Oh, I didn't mail out the thing. I'll do that in the next place we're going to. So we have the hammer. So that means we can go over to the Western and Eastern Fairy Islands. So let's see, we want this, like that. I always like to put the sail on the Y button. It's just kind of a force of habit kind of thing. So here we go. Let's see. Item that we got, oh yeah, we got this item also. Okay, so to get into one of the dungeons, we're gonna need iron boots. So hopefully we'll get the boots kind of soon. But otherwise, all of the dungeons the entrances to the dungeons are available to us, apart from that one. So we totally finished Tower of the Gods. There's no need to go back there, which is really nice. And the next one on our list is Forsaken Fortress. That's the shortest dungeon, so I'm really glad that we got that one today. And we have everything to finish it also, which is nice. Here we go.
Yeah, Tower of the Gods definitely seems like a longer dungeon in this game. None of the dungeons in particular are like super long per se, at least from what I can remember, but Tower of the Gods definitely always feels like a longer dungeon.
Yeah. Another one that can be long is Wind Temple if you don't have a lot of magic. So having double magic is really nice. And also if you don't have the hook shot going in, because the hook shot you get in Wind Temple, and having it outside and bringing it in makes cuts about a quarter to a third of the dungeon, which is really nice. The slowpoke hammer. I love the slowpoke hammer. Wait until you see the boots. The boots are my favorite of all of them. Speaking of hookshot, we got that, which is really nice. So we don't know if we have to do the Wind Temple, but if we do, we just cut the time that we'll be spending in there by having the hookshot. This hint, we got this hint. We're getting our mirror shield. According to my hints, looking at them now, we were told about a shield in Western Fairy Island, so I'm really glad we're getting that. And we know the last hint that we got that was useful is that Forsaken Fortress has the Earth God's lyric. So we'll be getting that next. The hook shot is really cute. It's really cute. I'll wait until we use it to see what we get. But let me double check all of our overall checks. This is the last fairy. We did that. We have to do the ghost ship. So I'll go ahead and open this up now. For the ghost ship, you have to open up the chart first. And then it'll actually appear on the map. You don't need to open it up to go into the ghost ship, but if you don't know where the ghost ship is, it'll show you once you've opened up the chart. So we're gonna route this perfectly by going to Forsaken Fortress, which will make it nighttime for us, and then afterwards we can go ghost ship hunting. So instead of playing the song now, every time that you go into Forsaken Fortress, it makes it nighttime. There's nothing in the water, yeah. There we go. So we won't be able to finish Forsaken Fortress unless we get a sword upgrade in Forsaken Fortress. Because one of the items, you need the Master Sword to even damage Phantom Ganon. But that's okay, there's good stuff in here. We can enter Wind Temple after this one. Okay. And we also want this. Okay.
Oh, I can't get over this slowpoke camera. It's so cute.
I know. So many cute ones here. So that chest is trash. We don't need it. And there's a chest downstairs that we're going to get in a moment. First, we want to get this chest. And this is something good. So it might be the Earth God's Lyric or something else. Let's see. Hopefully something else, which will mean at least 2 items here. Okay. But still, there could be more here than just the Earth God's Lyric. Absolutely. Skipping Forsaken Fortress 1, really nice. In Forsaken Fortress 1, you're put in the jail cell. Come on. Bomb chews. These little I was so surprised when I learned that they're actually bomb chews in this game. Okay, so we don't need that item. And I love how they throw electrodes at you. It's so adorable.
Yeah, Forsaken 1, I think, is one of those things where I'm like, did they really want this at the beginning of the game? Because I remember that being pretty difficult for kind of an intro dungeon, we'll call it.
Yeah, it is. So we don't want that. That's trash. But we did want to get up there from that side because that's how you can get there. Get to this side, which is the side we want to be on. And we are good to go for the Helmarock King. So it looks like the only item here was the Earth God's Lyric, which could be required. We'll find out. But if Earth Temple is in the game, or in the logic, then we'll be needing that. But otherwise, we don't really need that item if it's not in logic. And we're going to get a Triforce Shard for killing this boss. We're also going to activate some stuff to come in the mail for us, which is nice. And if we get a sword, we can finish off and see if Phantom Ganon has a good item for us. So we'll be coming back. So what I love doing here, you don't get to do this in the game, but you can use the Deku Leaf and then not have to go along the side of the dungeon. A little too early there. Those enemies are called mini blins that make the Delen sound. Mini blins. I always thought they were cute, but really annoying to deal with.
I never liked this sequence casually. I was always afraid of falling off.
Oh my gosh, me too. Yeah. I think, so I've never done it, but I think if you do fall off, you come back at the top of the dungeon, but I don't want to risk falling off and not having that be the case, so I've never actually done it. I saw that happen to a friend But I don't know if they updated the rando or something since then, so I didn't want to take the chance on it. Because it would be a big time, especially if you need the grappling hook. We don't have the grappling hook. It's not something I want to find out. It reminds me of in Ocarina of Time going for the hammer and how you're like tiptoeing along the side and there's a lot at stake there if you fall down. Now this boss can be annoying too, because it's kind of RNG as far as I know, how it determines if it's going to come and alight by you like this, or if it's gonna just ram its head against the wall. Okay. So hopefully it will come back down. Yep, looks like it is.
Are there any segments in this game that you still kind of struggle with even after playing them so often, or just segments that you feel like you could improve on?
Yeah, there definitely are some things that I feel like I could do better. Like, there are some things that you can do in Earth Temple, which I kind of hope we get that because I can show it off, but I can't do it as fast as I wish I could. Have arrows. Okay, so we're gonna buy more arrows since we're out of arrows. Oh. And we're about to get a Triforce shard here. So yeah, this is a mod that changes what the items look like along with your character. That's not all it does. It also randomizes everything. So, but one of the options is to change the character models. And so our characters look like, or things like our Deku Leaf looks like a Charizard, or our bow looks like a Porygon, because we're playing with the Pokemon mod. Yeah, no problem. Big bongs for the big hunks. So you want to go in that door up there to get the letters in the mail. So we're getting one letter from Errol and one letter... ooh, okay, so we want to be here. Come on. Okay. We need to change the time, so we don't want to be here. But that works out. So we're going to get quite a few items in the mail right now. We don't have enough for that one. So Errol sent us trash in the mail. Iron boots. Really happy to see that. So we're gonna go fill up our quiver with some arrows. And now we just have 2 dungeons left, and we can go into both of them, which is nice. We have the items to enter them.
Bye.
That is true. There is a full version. Unfortunately, the full version is not compatible with the randomizer. But if you do want to play vanilla, Pokemon Actual Sword and Shield looks incredible. I definitely recommend that. Thank you for the recommendation there. We're heading this way, right? Yeah. I don't know. I wanted to get rid of that. The D-pads. Random up inputs. Okay. So we'll check on the ghost ship item a little bit later. Let's see what we have in here. Which dungeon we're heading into. Also, the power bracelet, it's really subtle. I don't know if anyone caught it. It's the watch, the little Poké watch that Red is wearing. It's subtle because you wouldn't notice that he didn't have the Poké watch on unless you noticed before we got the power bracelet, which we got super early. But yeah. One of the other models I really love is Vacation Link. And the King of Red Lions is a surfboard. His bow is a water gun. It has all sorts of crazy stuff. It's so much fun. So we need grappling hook to do a lot in here, but we can still do things without a grappling hook in here. So let's see what we can get. This is a good dungeon to get. Okay, so we don't need that actually. So we didn't make that. That's okay. We make that one? Yes, we made that one. A lot of Charizard in this dungeon. This pot will warp us to Dragon Roost Cavern if we open up the other whoops, I did that a little early. If we open up the other teleportation pot inside of Dragon Roost Cavern. So it's very useful, but kind of situational. But it's on our way to open it, so might as well.
That's really cool. I never knew that.
Yeah, so in vanilla, those aren't a thing, the inter-dungeon teleportation pots, but they added that as an option in the rando, which is really nice. So there are 6 pots. The one here is linked to Dragon Roost and to Tower of the Gods. And then there's one in Forsaken Fortress, and that links to the other 2 dungeons, Earth Temple and Wind Temple. Okay, trash. So here we go. So what's interesting, I'll show this off real quickly. These right here, if I try to aim for that, it won't go because these are solid walls, even when they're not showing. Which is pretty interesting. So unfortunately, we don't have the grappling hook, but that doesn't mean that we're done in here. We can get one more item in here, and we can open up a teleportation pot, which will make it easier for us to come back. It'll make it the walk back faster. So there's the teleportation pots I mentioned that link the dungeons together, but then there's the vanilla ones within the dungeon that take you from one spot to the other. So when we come back with the grappling hook, we'll be able to use the teleportation pot at the entrance to come back to this spot here in the next room, which has the pot that I'll be opening. Fire and ice arrows, really nice to get that. So with ice arrows and the hammer, you can technically one-shot almost all enemies in the game by freezing them and then crushing them with a hammer. So always really nice to get that. And we're done in here now. Okay. I don't believe I have grappling hook. No, we don't have grappling hook. We have hook shot.
I do want to remind folks really quickly, please do give Desi a follow if you haven't already. That is at twitch.tv/NintenDesi. If you're watching on YouTube, that is NINTNDESI. And Desi, what days/nights do you typically stream and at what times?
So usually I go live really late, considering my time zone. It'll vary from like 10 p.m. to sometimes as late as 2 p.m. You know, let me play this song first. But then what I do is I'll go on for a long time. So my streams are usually 9 hours is an average. Sometimes I'll go a lot longer than that. And because I do longer streams, I take a day off. So it's every other night I usually stream. So if you're looking for me, you'll usually find me because my streams are so long. And you asked earlier about what kinds of things I've been doing. So I mentioned the U-Force. We did SMB2 also, and we beat that both on the SNES version. Oh, we're going the wrong way, I just realized. The SNES version and the NES version. And the NES one was really challenging because after 2 game overs, the next one counted and you went back to the beginning. So that was an interesting challenge. But what I love to do is I play a lot of old retro games. We recently beat Journey to Silius. Some other Dr. Chaos on the NES, a lot of NES, but not always NES. Right now we're working on Maze of Gallius, and it's the game that inspired La Mulana. I've never played La Mulana, but I love drawing maps, and I guess I could show a map after our break. One of the maps that I've drawn, or several of them, if people are interested. But yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah, we're going to be taking a break in about 8 minutes or so that'd be a perfect time to think about what map you'd like to show everyone.
Sure. Perfect. So we were able to one-shot that. And that wizard, getting that out of the way early is nice because it spawns in either a Stalfos, and Stalfos are really annoying to deal with, or here we go. Or what's the other one it does? A Redead. And that enemy's not too bad, but I generally get that less often. So depending on where that Wizrobe spawns, sometimes it's just really hard to get to it before it spawns an enemy. So I'm glad we got it out of the way. And this was important. What do we get for doing this? Some arrow money if we need it. Okay. So only 3 left. 1, 2, 3. There we go. Okay. So now we're gonna head to the other dungeon that we haven't seen yet. And you're gonna see what the iron boots look like as soon as we get there. Consummate cartographer. Yeah. I love drawing maps. And I don't just draw the maps for the sake of it. Like, I never... whoops. We're gonna want this and this. Okay. That was the wrong way. This. Okay. So when I was a kid, I didn't really draw maps that much, but not to beat games. But I guess I did do some tough ones, like Zelda 1 first and second quest, and Metroid. Metroid was one that I played a lot as a kid. But now to get through a lot of games, a lot of very puzzling games, maps are so helpful. So if I need to draw a map, I'll draw one. And people love it. Now I have a little hand cam to show the map as I'm drawing it, because people have been really enjoying the map drawings. We actually just used the big paper. I'm glad you're out here, the Ditto shoes. We started using the big paper last stream for Maze of Gallius because it needs it. And even with all of the paper space, I need more paper than one big one. So Ogre in chat donated to our stream in the PO box. It's 22 by 27 inches, I think, of each sheet of paper, and there are 50 sheets of paper in that pack. So okay, this is a good dungeon, especially considering our items.
Is it like the big calendar shape? Like, you know, if you're sitting at a desk and it's like that size, or is it like even bigger than that?
That's the size.
All right, yeah. Cool. See, we gotta get you a pretty tall canvas behind you so you can kind of turn around and start drawing maps right in the middle of the stream there. That would be perfect.
That would. And I love taking like paper notes. I've just always been one to take a lot of notes. So people have really enjoyed watching that. But yeah, so this current game, Maze of Gallius, I've been doing it with no manual so far. We'll see how long that lasts. I'll basically pull up a manual if I feel like I'm not having fun, or if usually it's not because I'm not having fun. It's because I just feel like I've done everything I can do, and the next part is so vague that I can't figure it out. And that's when I feel like, okay, there's no shame in checking a manual for anything, but it's all no spoilers, and just figuring out these games. And we've done some really tough ones that I'm really happy about.
About this seed so far? You know, we're getting close to the break. How you feeling about it? Feeling pretty good about it?
I'm feeling very good about this one. We have 2 dungeons done, and we've opened up the other 2. This is a pretty good one. The routing has been good. The items have been really paying off here. Really happy about that. And having the mirror shield before you come in here, really nice.
Take a break after this dungeon, then. That seems like a good spot for a break in action.
Yeah, we'll see how much of this dungeon we can do. But I guess if we... Yeah. Come on. There we go. I don't believe it was a key chest, but I'll double check because that's pretty important. I'll double check after we get this next room done. So the key chests are bluish. That's a chest I have walked past and realized, oh yeah, I needed that. So I'm all for going back for that. Yeah. If it had spikes, it was a key item. So the blue ones are like kind of wooden also, but they don't look like that wooden chest, like brownish chest. It's more of a blue chest, but it has the same shape as a wooden chest. So by leaving her at that spot, when I leave the room, she goes back to the entrance spawn point of the room that we last entered. So now I don't need to carry her back. Perfect, we got a key. Now I don't need to carry her back through these floor masters. And she's just waiting for us at the door, which is nice. Let's see. Nope, that was a wooden chest. Okay. So we're actually gonna go and take a gamble and come back if we need to in this dungeon. We don't want you. I'm glad I had the song. For a second, I was like, do I have the song? That's happened before.
You'll get to like one of these stones and you're like, wait a second.
Yeah. Or like getting to the boss door without having the boss key. Mm-hmm. That's definitely happened.
So where was the entrance to this again? Refresh my memory.
So we are in the vanilla. No, we're not. We're in the Wind Temple right now.
Yeah, I know we're in the Wind Temple. What was the entrance to this, I should ask?
So the entrance was the Wind Temple. This is the Earth Temple.
Oh, right. I always confuse these two. Like I said, not as much familiarity with the vanilla game, but I still love watching this because it's so relaxing.
It is very confusing, especially because like you have her and she flies around. You expect that to be wind, and then the plant dungeon you expect to be earth, but yeah, it's the other way around for whatever reason. Oh, we just missed that. If you hit the bridge, it will like bounce you back and then you won't be able to grab onto it. But if you get the timing right, you'll grab onto that edge of the bridge.
Yeah, Desi, I don't know how much more of this dungeon you have left. I know it's probably like the last room, but just whenever you'd like to take a break, whether it's before or after the dungeon, that's cool. Just let us know.
Okay, this is a pretty long one. So how about after we do these two side rooms? Well, actually, I think one of the two rooms.
All right, sounds good.
Yeah, the other one will take... I want to show how one of these rooms is connected to a room later on. And so it'll make sense to do it after the break.
Sure. I always forget how long the Wind and Earth temples are in this, and I guess Tower of the Gods too, compared to the rest of the dungeons.
Yeah, they can get long. We have some strats to cut down the time, but yeah, they definitely are the longer dungeons here. Okay, so yeah, we're good. And we're going to use that tech that I mentioned about freezing enemies and then smashing them in this room. Good. This is a required item. Well, okay. I take that back. It's not a required item. And this even works on dark nuts. It's just that the timing for dark nuts, they'll unfreeze very quickly. And so killing all of them will give us access to an item here. Oh, did I miss one? I missed one, okay. That's actually never happened to me before.
That's another GDQ show.
Yeah. I had to join the club there.
Yeah.
I just had to. Yeah. Okay, good. This is a key. Hopefully the boss key. Perfect. So there is one more small key in here. I left her up here. Yeah. And then whenever you're ready to break, we can break as soon as I enter this door.
All right, sounds good. Just let us know when you want to count the timer down and we'll stop it for you.
Okay, so 3, 2, 1, we're good.
All right, awesome. So folks, we are going to take our wellness break, but real quick before we do, please remember, if you want to follow what Games Done Quick is up to, use exclamation point links in the Twitch chat for all things GDQ. And your subs, Prime Gaming subs, gift subs, and bits shared on the GDQ Twitch channel help support Games Done Quick, both with Hotfix and with AGDQ 2023 costs, so please consider subscribing if you enjoy the daily GDQ content. And with that being said, everybody stretch, hydrate, and we'll be right back with Random Number Generation. Welcome back to Random Number Generation. I'm joined here by Nintendessi, and this is The Legend of Zelda Wind Waker Randomizer. We have so much more action to go, so Dessi, take it away.
All right, I'll count us down. 3, 2, 1, let's go. So right now, where we left off, we were in the Earth Temple, and it was a fairly good halfway point to take a break. We're gonna do a fun skip here to save some time. We're gonna leave her right about here. And now we're gonna go over and meet up with her. So we want to leave this most of the way through, but not all the way, right there. And then we'll open up this to shine the light on it. And we'll be doing this later on in the dungeon too, to skip a lot. Down a little, there we go. So this next room, you're supposed to get the light to shine onto that by having her reflect, kind of like what we did here, but it takes way more time than by doing what we just did. And I'm just gonna leave her there instead of playing the song to slowly bring her back, and she's back at the entrance point there where we entered the room. I think we're gonna miss it. Yeah, that's okay. Come on. Usually I make it onto that platform and then I don't have to throw her over. Okay. I'm just gonna leave her there for a moment. We check and see if this chest is important. It's not, it's trash. Medley's reaction. I do need to show Medley's reaction. Someone asked earlier about the pallets when we were going on the break. The enemy pallets are randomized, yes, and that includes bosses. So we'll see what we get for all of these enemies and bosses. So we skipped some early rooms here. So we'll find out later if we need to go back to them. That's her reaction. It normally plays a noise, but they disable the noise when you have a custom voice for the character, and this character is mute, so they disable the voice on her. So this room is where we can do some tech. It takes some time to get used to it, and I'm still not the best at it, but we'll see how this goes. So we want her to land on this. This is the trickiest part. There we go. Okay. And like we did before, we want to move this almost all the way onto the light, but not quite all the way. So there we go. Thank you for the good luck. So basically what they want you to do in this room is to move all of the mirrors in the room to get them to be in the right place. And then it will turn on the lights in the dungeon. But we're going to skip moving a lot of the mirrors by doing some magic here. By having her open these up. We don't need to have them reflect their mirrors off of one another. And come on, we had it for a second. Okay, I'll just move her. There we go. I'm pretty sure she won't reach this one. Okay. And now what we want to do is have her do this. Come on. Okay, perfect. So this last one is kind of finicky. That was weird. Okay, I'm glad we got that kind of early on there. The half room strats, yeah. That's really funny, Murphy. Okay, so now we have the mirrors in place. There we go. It's shining. There we go. And this just breaks the room entirely. We're also done with medley. Ideally, we'll get light arrows to speed up the next few rooms. Let's see how that goes. And for some reason, that wall will either go immediately or it'll wait for you to move and then it'll despawn like that. Okay, we do need that, so that's good. And I guess that does speed this room up a little bit. Not as much as light arrows would have. We're gonna get rid of these pesky skull bubbles. And is this chest important? It looks like it is. Right? Yeah, it is. Light arrows would be really nice. Let's see. Okay, we do need that to beat the game, so we cannot go further in Wind Temple without that. Or not Wind Temple, sorry. Forbidden Woods without that. So that was a really good find. And we want you. Oh, we almost got it. No. There we go. And it is trash. Okay. So we're gonna go to the boss. And oh, I guess we don't need her. We're gonna go to the boss and gamble on the extra rooms. They could have something required. We'll find out later. Okay. Was that room originally Reduds? No, but there is a room with Reduds that looks very similar. So this doesn't have Randomizer yet, but there is talk about that being done at some point, which will be nice if we can get that. We have this item. So this boss is really nice with light arrows, because it will immediately stun the boss. You don't have to shoot the, you don't have to shine light or reflect it from the mirror shield onto the boss. Yeah, I think you're thinking of the other. It looks very similar. No, don't pick that up. Roll forwards. We'll take arrows though. Okay. Whacking a Tomb Trader with a slow bow. The light move. This boss is kind of annoying because you'll be shining the light at him and then the light that goes onto your mirror shield will move. Just 2 more. Yeah, Hurricane Spin is nice. We don't have Hurricane Spin. Sometimes we get it, but it's pretty uncommon. Okay. Move. Okay. So now I think we're either 1 or 2 Triforce Shard. No, we have to be, yeah, at most 2. But I think that otherwise, there's 1 Triforce Shard on the boss that we're about to go kill after this, the last one. You know, I take that back. We're going to go to Phantom Ganon, which is technically a boss. Or more of a mini boss. And then we're going to go and use... go and get the last Triforce after that. So let's go. Two more, okay. So 1 is gonna be on the boss in Forbidden Woods, I should say. We're skipping about 3 chests in here, 3 or 4 chests. We're gonna come back if we need it. I actually will want that.
I don't know why I didn't mention this before. Maybe I'm hungry or something, but that last Triforce piece in particular looked like a piece of cheese to me.
Yeah, they do look like pieces of cheese. I love it. We actually want this first. And then we can put on those. A greenish color, okay. I don't even remember what color he was in Vanilla. Oh, you know what? We actually have an empty bottle. The developers left that in as an Easter egg. Okay, then. Really? There we go. Normally purple? That sounds about right. We'll see what the last item is here. It is not trash. Very happy about that. Okay. And remember what I said earlier about items that, like, if you have power bracelet, usually the bombs will be behind the power bracelet. for an item that can only open with either bombs or power bracelet. Here, you need 2 sword upgrades to get to that boss, the chest from that, what we just got. And the boss was hiding one of the 4 swords. So that's another good example of that. Yeah, sword lock sword. So now we're 1 sword away, 1 bow away, and also we need the boomerang. Normally I skip the boomerang unless we need it for the dungeon that we're at, and it looks like we need it for this dungeon. And we need the sail. There we go. Yeah, so we need a sword, a boomerang, and a bow, and a Triforce shard. So we need 2 Triforce shards technically, but one of them, there we go. One of them is randomized. The other one we know exactly where it is. How long has this been developing? That's a really good question. I am not entirely sure, but I think about 5 years, maybe 4 to 5 years. Could be longer, but I'm not sure. But I think the first release was around then. Oh, we need it. Okay. I mentioned that. Sometimes I'll go up to a boss door and realize, oh yeah, we don't have that key. But we needed to come to this teleportation pot anyway for a shortcut. So normally you would go through the dungeon to get back here, or if you opened up the teleportation pot from earlier, you can just go now from back here. Unfortunately, we don't have the boomerang, which would... So we couldn't have done the boss anyway, now that I think about it, because we don't have the boomerang. But the boomerang also means less back and forth in here. Not too much less, but a little bit. That was close. Okay. Yeah, the Charizard is great. Yeah, this is a really fun mod. So there's an item in this room and then 2 in the next room. This is a good one, okay. Okay, so I take that back. It wasn't a good one. It was trash. A song for a dungeon that we don't need to do. Let me get these off of us. Do we need this? We do not need this. And like before, shooting a projectile, you can't do it with those things in the way. They're a solid wall. But for some reason, bombs, you can throw past them. Okay then. And okay, a small key or a boss key? Small key. There's only one small key in this dungeon, which is nice. And getting the small key now makes routing much better. It actually had to be that because we don't have a boomerang. If we had a boomerang, well, okay, or it could be in the Earth Temple. That was another possibility. And one of those checks that we gambled on. Okay. I'm thinking I'm in another room. We already did that room. I like how we how we got the P hat there.
I like the animation of Porygon jumping with you.
Yeah, it's really cute. We want to get that P hat before it becomes a problem. So here we go. What do we get here? Is it good? It is not good. Okay. So we're heading north first. Did I go down a flight? No, I did not. Okay. And we're gonna one-shot this mini-boss with fire or ice arrows. Let's freeze it to death. Yeah, Stunfisk is nice. But there we go. And we didn't need it. Okay. I'm hoping this is the boomerang. We'll find out. I guess I could have hookshot to this chest. Okay. So we are done in here until we get the boomerang. Exactly. Here we go. So now we're gonna go back into Earth Temple and we're gonna use one of those teleportation pots to do that. I probably want to buy more arrows, to be honest, so I'll do that too.
I'm excited to see this.
Yeah, there's a nice trick we can do in there too. So we're getting that and that. No, you cannot clear Forbidden Woods without the boomerang because there's the part at the top that you use the boomerang to destroy the vines that are holding up that like centerpiece, I guess, whatever that is, that giant wooden structure, and it opens up the path to the basement. And then also the boss cannot be killed without the boomerang. So we need it for 2 things in there. Scale of 1 to 10. I'd say this is about an 8 or 9. It's up there. This way. So now we're going to use the teleportation pod. Yeah, you need to know some glitches to get all of the chests in there. Even to get the boss to you can use spring water. First of all, we don't have spring water, but if we did, we would need to still open up the boss so that like the flower containing the actual boss inside opens up, and you need the boomerang for that. So here we go. And now we're back. Okay. We're likely going to get another key in here on the way.
Is there any way you can break logic in here, like the ways we've talked about breaking logic in Ocarina of Time?
So, there are some ways to do it, but usually the way that I break logic is by doing more accessible stuff. In here, I know the tingle tuner item can be used in like really broken ways. But usually what I'm doing is something akin to what we have in OOT called accessible.
Gotcha, that makes sense. So like, for example, no barrier skip.
Yeah, exactly. That's a pretty rough one to know. Well, it got me. Okay. But we're really close to where that'll put us. We have this shortcut now. And she should be in that room still. Yeah. There we go. Yeah, that floor master. I thought I had it, but it had me. And a key? Yeah, that makes sense. We know the boomerang has to be in here. Actually, bringing her is gonna make one of the checks easier since we don't have the boomerang. Usually I use the boomerang for the check. So she is a good boomerang for us. We can get her to get some checks that we don't want to get, basically. And you know what? I guess we have all these. I never have all these extra bottles. What are we doing? Okay. I normally. Oh, that's fine. We're gonna want this. Oh, we need a hook shot. I'll get. Okay. Hey. I still had momentum forwards. I couldn't pick her up. It's the same button to roll as it is to pick her up, but you need to be standing still. Here we go. I will use this, and that. And okay, that could be our boomerang. Okay, we needed that, so that's good. We're going away. So is this room important? Let's find out. There could be trash in this spot. And that is 10 rupees. That looks like trash. So we're good to go. This next room, anyone can do the trick that I'm about to do. I love this trick. Yeah, the hammer is a slow poke. I didn't show what our hook shot was. I'll show that in a moment. It's a little magnemite. Come on. There we go. And the boomerang. Oh, not the boomerang. Okay. Interesting. So where is the boomerang? In the mail. It's likely in the mail. Let's go check the mail.
Every time you go to check the mail, I think of like the Blue's Clues mail time song.
I love that.
Yeah.
So now the boomerang is all we need for go mode. And we'll just go in and kill the boss when we get it. Get our last Triforce. And we'll be good. Oh, we need the light arrows. We do need light arrows, unfortunately. Hopefully light arrows are in Forbidden Woods and not in Hyrule. Okay. This is on GameCube. I'm playing on a Wii because Wii plays GameCube games also, but I am playing on hardware on a Wii. It's pretty impressive that they got all this to work on console. And this also works on emulator, on an original GameCube. We don't need this item, but I just want to get it out of the way. Yeah, we don't care about that. That makes sense. Okay. There you are. No. Actually going this way is faster. No, this one isn't connected. The faster way is to go from Windfall. There we go. Okay. Guess we also got this item. Yeah, I don't use it with Puppet Ganon, but I do use it in Forbidden Woods and for Kale demos. Kale demos being the boss of Forbidden Woods. So yeah, I normally just aim well with Ganon. It's usually a lot more difficult with a custom bow like this one. I'm very used to the vanilla one, but we'll still get it. It'll be good. Come on. We're gonna want boomerang. And the leaf. I should have gotten the leaf. I'll get that when we get to the spot because I think we can... I forgot which dungeon it was in. Okay, it's actually in Earth Temple. I normally write that stuff down and I told myself, write it down. Okay. It's one of the things that happens pretty often. Right now we only randomize dungeon entrances, but you can also randomize the caves, the secret entrance, or secret caves with the dungeons, and it's a lot more going around and checking stuff. So if you Google Wind Waker Randomizer, you'll find resources on that. It's readily available on GitHub, so that's where you can find it. As far as the Discord, there is a Wind Waker Rando Discord. I can point you in that direction later if you want. Maybe at the end of this, if we have time. I didn't share the maps. I got the maps next to me. I think the next boss cutscene I could show.
Oh yeah, go for it.
For when I like to draw maps of games that I play. There we go. Yeah, no problem. And if you have any questions, let me know. Majora's Mask is another really great one. I haven't done the rando for it yet, but I really want to at some point.
You should try it.
Yeah, I want to. So I have a friend donated an N64 to the stream. I need a piece of hardware to get it, to use it to capture. And when we get that, I could start doing those. So I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah, and it was talked about when Revin was on here last, but there will be a combo rando of that and Ocarina of Time. So a lot of people are looking to learn Majora's Mask right now, Randomizer, just to assist with when that happens. I know I'm going to try it too. It looks really cool.
That's really exciting. And as you know, I love Ocarina of Time rando. I actually have never done it. I've never played Ocarina of Time rando because of the hardware situation, but I'm really looking forward to that one. I did not want to fall down like that. Is there any way up here? Yes, there is. Okay. So there are 2 chests in this room. We really want to see light arrows. Our boomerang is a Pokeball. Oh, and we need that key, so we'll be getting that key. I love how you throw Pokeballs at enemies. And that chest is important.
I love everything about this, man. This is so awesome.
It's so cool. There's a lot of love put into this rando, and it shows. Get it in there. I like how it shows you even though you fell in there already. It's the one to show you, hey, there's a chest there. Perfect. Okay, that's really good. So now we're done here. We're just going to the boss. I forgot to get the boss. Usually I got the other key first. Okay. We're gonna go get that. Okay. Minor time loss, but it's not too bad. Hook shot? Yes, it's a Magnemite. Keep going down.
So we are looking for, to recap, a boomerang and a piece of the Triforce for go mode.
We're
and
there.
Light arrows.
We just so we just got light arrows and boomerang. We just need the Triforce shard that's on this boss.
That's what I was thinking of. I'm like, wait, we just got those things. Never mind. We need a piece of, I want to call them a piece of cheese because that's what they look like.
We need one more slice of cheese.
Yeah. That's right, because I remember you saying that this dungeon would likely unlock a lot of the stuff that you were missing.
And we're good to go. We are in go mode.
Yeah, someone was, I think someone was saying in chat that we're very close to go mode, so I just wanted to clarify for folks who may have just come in here what you were missing for go mode, and it turns out, just that piece of cheese.
Yeah. And someone just asked what in logic means. So, good question. You'll hear a lot of people who play randomizers talk about logic. Basically, randomizers have a logic to them. In other words, they make sure that you can collect all required items in the game. Like, there won't be a boomerang that you need a boomerang for. The boomerang will be available in certain spots that don't require you to have the boomerang already. The one cycle, kind of. The boomerang part of that boss is not so great, but the one cycle is good. So here we go.
Yep, there it is.
And doing this also gives us another item in the mail, but we don't care about that. We're good.
So what's left after this, Dusty? You're in go mode now. What does stuff post go mode look like in Wind Waker Randomizer?
So once you have gotten the full Triforce and you have all of your items, you're in go mode. You basically go to Hyrule and go directly to Ganon. And you do not pass go. You do not collect $200. You just go to Ganon. So that's what we're up to now. We're gonna do this, and we'll Wind Waker also. That cutscene happens whenever you get on the King of Red Lions after having your Triforce complete. And then once we're in Hyrule, I'll do hopefully one last menuing for getting the 3 items we need for Ganon. We're obviously going to need light arrows, but then we also want a hook shot and a grappling hook.
So wait a second. You may have talked about this earlier, but I just want to recap. How come Hyrule is not black and white? Is that just to signify you're in go mode?
So that's one of the nice things that they did to save time here, so that you don't have to kill all of these enemies in this in this lobby, I guess, to the castle. It just makes it so it's already animated. There's no barrier there, but this barrier is here. For the 4 sword check. Do you have your 4 swords or not?
Nice.
We're good to go. And this is the best song in the game. When you reach Hyrule, the climax of the game, and it's just 2 notes on a bassoon. And otherwise totally silent. You hear it at least one other time when you go to the ferry and outside. And light arrows are fantastic. They will one-shot enemies everywhere. I like to throw that sword there and try to carry it with me. Okay, so the sword didn't make it. Then I throw the sword to the other side, and then I walk in carrying the sword. And it's like, you just see this enormous sword, and then Red walking in. It's a really nice moment. It despawns right after you come into this room, but it's one little thing I like to do. It's tough to get that sword onto that little island there. And then to get it onto the last spot there with land. A red Gyarados would be interesting, yeah. If people want to contribute to changing the models or adding to new character models or you know, anything, they have a lot of info in the Wind Waker Randomizer Discord and a lot of tools to help people learn this stuff. So if you don't have light arrows, you have to fight Phantom Ganon like 8 times to get to the light arrow chest. And vanilla light arrows is rough. Having to do that. But if you come in here with light arrows, you skip all of that. So here we are. You do have to kill all of these to open up the door to Ganon. But otherwise, we're pretty much there.
Awesome. Well, again, Dusty, as you are climbing up Ganon's Tower, why don't you take a second here to let folks know about your stream for folks who may have not been here during the first half.
Yeah, thank you so much. We do a lot of retro in my stream. A lot of randomizers too. So you'll see me playing this, usually with a more a flag set that requires more time to beat it. And I'll do Zelda 2 randomizer. I'll do all sorts of different things with old games like randomizers, shufflers. If you're familiar with the shuffler, it basically allows you to play multiple games at the same time, and it'll shuffle you between different games. So we find fun ways to make use of the shuffler. Okay, so that was a miss.
Oh, I think folks know what the shuffler is going to be after we have the next GDQ. I'm going to be playing the All-Star Any Percent.
That's
shuffler.
right.
Yeah.
That is right. Oh my gosh. Oh, come on. That was really close. I am excited for that. Oh my gosh. Sky is really good at the classic Marios. Somehow I got the hardest one there.
But your Mario 2, Dusty, your Mario 2 in particular is really good. I'm just saying.
Thank you. I love that. I love all of them. The one that I loved the most as a kid was probably Lost Levels, because it was so challenging. It really was a tough one. I loved watching you speedrun that, like back in the day, and now with the shuffler again. But you used to play that a lot, and I love that you're getting back into that with the shuffler. One more hit in this phase. I remember when I started watching your stream, you were doing a lot of that, and Zelda 1 Rando, and SMB3.
Yeah, I spent about 2 years on Zelda 1 Rando. That was one of the reasons why I wanted to host this show so much, because I have such a passion for randomizers.
Yeah. And it showed. Like, you did a lot of Ocarina of Time Rando. A lot of randos.
A Year of Iron Man.
A Year of Iron Man, yeah. Oh my gosh. That's been so much fun.
Yeah, nice fight there. That was really good.
Yeah, thank you. We have 2 more phases to this, but that's the one that is the most difficult with a bow that you're not super comfortable with. So usually I have the vanilla bow, because a lot of the character models don't have a custom bow like this one does. And so aiming with it is a little different. Okay, I'm hoping the bats give us an arrow drop. We'll see.
Oh yeah, I never liked this phase at all. It was so creepy.
Yeah.
Halloween was yesterday, Desi.
It's true. That is true. Well, we'll get past this one quickly. This is the last one. And then we have the final phase, which I like to tell everyone is totally free, because it's not at all free. And by saying that, I'm hoping it actually will be free. Free. Almost there. Okay, free. There we go. Can we do it on the last shot? No, we'll just drink the soup. Free. There we go. Okay. And now for what was for me the best part of the vanilla playthrough, the final Ganon fight, where it is just so epic. And what I love about it is how much of a part Tetra plays in this, because without her, you can't do this. I always thought she was like the best Zelda of any other Zelda. Like, yeah, totally free. She just is so courageous. She does stuff on her own. She doesn't need Link to do much, especially the first half of the game. Wow, okay. Another instance of that's never happened to me before. I've actually never seen that happen. I got to join the club twice. So this is GDQ Hotfix, where we showcase different games in shows. This is random number generation, where we play randomizers. And welcome. It's a pleasure to have you here. So here we go. There we go. Okay. That was so weird that that didn't work last time. And there is a teleportation pot. If you don't win and you want to climb back up to Ganon, you can make it to this upper floor. We just skip that. So if you look at my items, she just said, I'll use this bow. She stole my bow. And she'll be using our bow to damage him in the first phase. The first phase is dependent on how much, on her light arrows, basically. Where's she going now? She's that way. Where are you going, Zelda? There we go. Okay. I believe that is a thing in the other mod that we were talking about with Ganon being Giovanni. I could be wrong. I haven't played it before. That was weird. Okay. Okay, so for the final phase, final part here, communication's important. You need to talk to her. Okay. Come on, Zelda. And that is time. We did it.
Hey, just under
Perfect.
238. GG.
Thank you so much for having me and allowing me to showcase this wonderful randomizer with everyone.
Absolutely, Desi. This is a great time if you have any shout outs and folks you'd like to say hey to.
I'd love to shout out Scrumbular, who helped me with learning the Earth Temple skip, the half mirror room, and just kind of everyone who's helped support me get this far. I really appreciate all of you so very much. It's always a privilege to be here on Twitch and to be able to stream for everyone, so thank you. And a huge thank you to you, Sky. You've been an inspiration to me since the very beginning. I just really appreciate everything that you do, both on stream and off stream.
Oh, thank you so much, Desi.
And you and I both know the off-stream work is usually much more time-consuming. So really appreciate everything you do.
Oh, absolutely.
Thank you, everyone, for the GGs. This was so much fun to share.
And I do want to remind folks again, please, you will not regret it, I promise. Please give Desi a follow, everybody. Twitch.tv/NintenDesi for folks watching on YouTube. That is NINTENDESI. Desi, again, streams pretty consistent hours, so if you see Desi on, Desi's going to be on for quite a bit, as Desi was talking about earlier. So please be sure to check out NintenDesi. Again, that is twitch.tv/NintenDesi. Desi, thank you so much for being on. This was a fantastic showcase of Wind Waker Randomizer.
Thank you. Always a pleasure to be with you.
Same. All right, real quickly here. Now, this is not the end of our GDQ broadcast for tonight. As a reminder, if you're watching on YouTube, speaking of YouTube, be sure to press the like button on this video and subscribe to the channel. Also, go to twitch.tv/GamesDoneQuick if you're interested in looking at our live content starting weeknights at 7 p.m. Eastern and weekends at 1 p.m. Eastern. Stay tuned, y'all, for a fun episode of Aimbot coming up right after the break. Take it away, Amy.